Welcome to my energy update. Yes, that is correct. You have a second energy update in 1 week. My goodness, I only did one day before yesterday. And this is a little bit of an impromptu energy update because the energy is just so intense. I was like, I can't not do a video. Like this is probably one of the most intense times I've been through in a while, trying to navigate this energy. And there's so many layers in it. And I'm pretty good with energy. I can roll with the punches, pretty strong when it comes to things like that. But when I kind of roll out of bed, like literally hanging on to life by my fingernails, yeah, we need to do an energy update and we need to unpack it, right? And you've also got a video which is going to be like released onto YouTube at the same time, which is the Tree of Life. Now, it may be that you want to watch these two videos together because one may really serve the other and vice versa. But yeah, you've got a double whammy, okay, in today, and you've also got a double whammy for energy updates. So what's not to love? Abundance. I told you it was juicy July. Lots of fruit to be picked, right? So anyway, as they say, let's get into it. So I have been very, very, very much talking about the Capricorn moon. So the Capricorn moon, very, very powerful in its energy. And it came in like way before its time for me. I felt it. I was like, yuck. And the way I felt it was I wanted to just go into hermit mode and I didn't want to go out and see anybody. And I was like, yeah, I'm preparing to get my saucepan on my head and just keep it chill. And yeah, it was a very, very powerful moon. And there was lots of things that happened within that time. Now, I have referred to the energy of the Capricorn moon being very sort of like mental body. It's not an emotional sign, right? So it is actually all about like making a plan, like thinking, like it's very intellectual, I suppose. You could compare it to that. So the moon is obviously very, very intuitive and very, very feminine. So in a way, they kind of go together because one is basically emotional and the other one is not so much. But we need that, don't we? That's kind of like a divine feminine, divine masculine balance, which when the two comes together, we create divinely beautiful things, right? And in this case, a pathway forward. So it really does beg the question, right? Like, where are we going? What are we doing? So if we're asking big questions like that and the Capricorn moon has stimulated us to kind of like really ground down and just kind of go, right, okay, what do I don't want? What do I do want? Where are we going? That means we're definitely at the end of a cycle. So we have been timeline jumping. And, you know, and what does that mean exactly? Because somebody said to me, what do you mean by timeline jump? It's like the energy, like the dimension that you're in. It's like that frequency you've been vibing at. You kind of get upgraded. So, of course, when you get upgraded with energy and frequency, it happens because you've gone through a big internal shift. So your energy has become lighter within and more clearer. So if that's the case, then you are emanating your reality from this space, which means this is going to look completely different. So when we do it as a collective, we timeline jump. No different to actually like catching loads of coins on a video game and going, right, you've passed go. And you get up to the next level or you get extra life. Okay, that would be cool, wouldn't it? And we kind of do, don't we? So that's what I mean by timeline jumping. And we've been doing little ones. I personally feel, Gospel of Marie, huge timeline jump this week. I feel that we have been propelled up onto the next level. And I'm going to go into that now because basically everything's under review. So if something is under review and you're kind of like assessing everything, it means that there is a closure on something, right? So which means there's going to be an awful lot of things that are going to suddenly pop up as you're closing on things to be able to start something new. And as we know, when you say no to something, you're automatically saying yes to something else. When you're closing a door, another one automatically opens. It's the universal law. So if you're saying, right, I'm done with that, then something else is going to pop up, right? So it's just how it is. And that's a beautiful thing. So this is why I say sacred no's are just as powerful as sacred yeses, because if you're unsure where to go, why don't you start with a sacred no first of all and go, you know what you don't want. I definitely don't want that. I definitely don't want that. Process of elimination. Okay, so what's left on my table? So we need to be reviewing kind of where we've been and where we are and where we want to go. And I've been having big conversations with myself for the reason of this close of cycle. So sudden jolts. So I'm going to talk about the energy that's been going on. So sudden jolts. A lot of people have been opening their videos going, Gaia's having a panic attack. First of all, I strongly disagree with that because Gaia doesn't have a panic about anything because she's Gaia. She's Gaia. She's just Gaia. She's just huge and powerful. I mean, us humans think, oh my God, we have to save her. And she's like, no, you just need to stop cutting trees down and doing what you're doing, but I'll be fine because I've lasted a gazillion of years with or without humans. I'll be fine. I know how to self-generate. It'll be okay. So Gaia has been chucking out some major energy. I think that's what people are getting at. If you equate the energy that Gaia has been sending out, the Schumann resonance, it can be likened to the same level of energy that one would experience in their physical bodies when they have a panic attack. She is not having a panic attack. It's just the level of the energy she's throwing out is at that level. So pretty cool, huh? Not very cool when it's coming through the soles of your feet and through your chakras and blowing you to pieces, but she's doing it for a good reason. She's propelling you onto the next level. She's leaving no man behind, the ones that put their hand up. And she's like pushing you. She's giving you an extra propulsion to get over there. Like, right, now go, So she's looking after her children, right? When we're teaching our kids, or when an adult is teaching a child on their bike and they've taken the stabilizers off for the first time, you push them. You throw them. You don't throw them. You don't throw them. You push them. And then all of a sudden they get that propulsion to get their balance, and away they go because they have momentum. So this is what Gaia is doing for us. She's doing us a solid. She's pushing us so we can gain momentum. What a beautiful thing, right? So we are the ones that are probably having panic attacks, to be honest. It's us, But either way, it is all of the universe and all of our guides and our teams and our higher self. It's all like everybody's on. They're on. And it's happening, right? So we've got this like next level timeline jump going on, and we're being helped left, right, and center. Okay. Support your body. I personally myself have been in a lot of physical pain, and because there's been so much energy coming in, I've really needed to give my physical body some support and some love. And I've been getting frequency light upgrades in my physical body, and it's helped me kind of, it's like I've upgraded my RAM or my processing speed, and it's whirring now. So the amount of light that's coming in, I can process it a lot faster. So my Wi-Fi is on point, man. But that only comes in when this physical vessel is aligned with my light bodies. Because this is the thing. This is where you're going to feel tension in your body when your light body's moving so fast. Everything's going like that. But your physical body is dense. It's kind of trying to purge a lot of things and embody a lot of things. So we need to just slow our row a little bit and go, right, what do you need? What do you need? And for me, frequency light upgrades for those kind of like support teachers that we have. And I have an amazing one in my life, and she just basically energy sends everything and it upgrades my whole system, which I've had a couple this week, and I feel exceptionally different. You know what I mean? So I feel like everything's aligned. So if you want to look at anything, it's all going to happen. Everything's fine. It's very intense though going through these things, because as we bring in so much light so rapidly, we purge a lot, right? So there are two things going on here. Your own stuff's going to come up, yeah, but a majority of it is going to be collective. There's a lot of shit going on out there, and it's basically like, think about it. How long have we been on this journey? We've been working and working and working. I've been doing this channel for 10 years, and I haven't stopped. And I know you haven't stopped. So we've got this far now. So we can't get this far and go, well, this is all my shit. No, it's not. We had to come and do this before the world explodes and they come online, because everybody's about to wake up just now. The ones that are all kind of investing in the truth of their governments, there is no truth. And that's what's crashing right now. So of course we went ahead and we said, we'll go and prepare the space before you guys come. So a lot of you teachers, space holders, are going to be very busy, And we're going to be very busy because we are rebuilding our own internal structures, our own sacred architecture, and we are building that temple, okay? And we're becoming strong now. That is the kind of help which basically we are bringing. That's the help, that's the input. Because through our own inner world, we change our outer world, right? So don't go on these protests and all that kind of thing. You're just matching anger with anger. Rather do your inner work, change the vibration from within, because you change your reality out there. Then you link arms with me, because I've just done that. Then you link arms with Barry down there, because he's just done it. Gloria down there did the same. And before you know it, we're one big network of those that have changed their inner world and their outer reality. Put all of those together and you've just got one mass new timeline, right? So it's like, really, that's how we're going to do it. That's what's happening. And that is why you're feeling what you're feeling now. So don't fear. Everything is absolutely fine. And you are going through a very, very intense time, but support your system as you go. This is why, okay? So a lot of the stuff that's kind of been blowing in, and I wanted to do this video just to say, don't believe the hype, because I have been, and we're about to go into we are in retrograde. We're in quite a lot of retrogrades actually. And I'm going to go through it shortly as to just how much we're in. So we are going to be revisiting a lot of things. Retrogrades to me, I think, is an absolute gift because we get to kind of review again, because that's what a review is. We look over everything, and we need this right now. We need to have this energy in. But when we review everything, we got to feel it in our body. So we got to kind of go through the junk and go, yeah, no, you can go. Yeah, that's new. We'll keep that. Do you know what I mean? So all of this is going on in your physical. You're going to feel it. I had a revisit last night of some dark energy that was connected to a couple of people, and I didn't directly connect with them, but I'm like, where are they coming to my space? Why are they in my energy field, as it were? And I just thought that's interesting. So I just watched it blow in and I watched it blow out, because that's the timeline that I was in. And that was from like a year or so, 2 years ago. Like, why is that coming in? I got nothing to do with that. I'm not even going to vibe with it because I don't want anything to do with it. So be careful of that. So if something blows in that's old energy, don't get it twisted that you have to deal with it, because then you kind of revive it. No. Just watch it come and go. That's it. Sit on your hands if you have to. Let it come, let it go. So the energy I woke up with this morning was a lot of doubt, a lot of fear, massive anxiety. Solar plexus is getting like really hammered right now, because that's the chakra that we feel everything with. So we're going to be feeling it there as well. And it's also the solar plexus is kind of like where we birth our creations from, actually. Even though the sacral chakra is all kind of like about creativity, it's the solar plexus where we actually really create. I call it my little cauldron, and then we fire it out into the world, you know. And that's where we're in the process of creating this new world for ourselves. But we're also kind of like got a little bit of old ingredient in that mix, and we need to get rid of that because that's not part of our new cake mix anymore. So we are in a very sort of like tumbleweed time where there's a lot of coming in and going, but just breathe. Just breathe and just let yourself rest. I was in bed all day yesterday, and just let it move through, okay? So now I just want to go through the retrogrades just to give you an idea, not to scare you, not to make you feel overwhelmed, but just to give you a little bit of a map and compass as to how much you're navigating right now and why, and it's an all good thing, right? So the retrogrades, Mercury, okay? We're kicking into that on the 17th of July to the August the 11th. And that's a retrograde in Leo, because we're moving into Sekhmet season soon, which I'm so excited about. But this is a very, very powerful time of the year, because it's basically all about sovereignty. It's all about, I'm going to read it now: communication, creativity, and travel. So, of course, they say with Mercury retrograde, oh my God, no, let's not connect with the retrogrades like that. It's fear-based, right? Let's go, oh yeah, we got a chance to kind of review, upgrade, have a second chance to think about it. Let it come in, So the Mercury retrograde is going to be all to do with creativity, communication, and travel. Then we move into Saturn. So Saturn's kicked in on the 13th of July, 3 days ago. And we are going with that until November the 27th. And it's retrograde in Aries. Fire. You're going to be revisiting things to do with responsibility, boundaries, and structure, okay? So there might be a little bit of fisticuffs, a little bit of power struggles with certain things. I don't know, maybe with you, or you're the one power struggling with someone else. I don't know, but that's what it's all going to be about. It's like where are you giving your power away? Responsibility is like, where should your responsibilities really lie? Should you be going that way or that way? So again, it's a revisit to say, oh no, I don't want to be doing that. Pull your energy back. Any energy I've left behind or given away, I call back to myself now. So that's a little bit of that, right? Neptune. 4th of July, so that's already kicked in, we're underway, to December the 10th, right? So Neptune is retrograde in Aries. So Aries, again, more fire. And that is going to be all about intuition and inspiration versus illusion. So basically inspiration, I would like to bring in Capricorn, who is the Celtic version of Sekhmet as far as I'm concerned, made in Mother Crone. Always with a big cauldron, love it, because the cauldron is even more ancient than the Holy Grail, and Caradwyn is the keeper of the cauldron, and she's also the keeper of Awen. Awen is all about inspiration, and she's deeply connected to the bards, and they were all about songs and poetry and all that kind of stuff. So she's really the goddess that you call upon, or rather the witch teacher, when you want to come into like that inspiration and intuition, because she's always making a brew in a cauldron. What's in the brew? That's what we want to know. So that's the alchemy of this. So illusion is like, it's all part of alchemy, isn't it? That's very Avalon, actually. Smoke and mirrors, the mists. You got to be able to decipher which is truth and which is non-truth, And then we move into Pluto. Pluto, May the 4th, okay? to October the 13th. So this is retrograde in Aquarius. It's my sign. And Pluto's all about transformation, and I'm all about that, as you know, transformation and power dynamics. So again, ego, you know what I mean? Where are you bashing heads with things? You know what I mean? Where is transformation being blocked because of the power dynamics? Do you know what I mean? You know, it's like power over, power under. You know what I mean? It's like we've really got to be in this neutral space of divine balance between divine feminine, divine masculine. But to get there, we have to go through that alchemical process, and that's what it's all about. So embrace it, you know, congratulate, you know, don't hate. Congratulate, as they say, you know, embrace it. And then you've got Chiron, which is July the 30th, and it goes all the way through to for the whole year. And that is wounds, inner deep wounds, inner healing, and all that kind of thing. So that's full on inner child stuff, which is kind of ongoing, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So that is just something I've kind of like tapped into today. And like I say, not an astrologer, but very, very much an alchemist and a reader of energy and an activator of energies. And when I read things like this, I just see one big cauldron of opportunity, because if we look at these retrogrades like this, it's like one big alchemical formula. How can we roll with this for the rest of the year and really like squeeze the juice out of this alchemical potion that we've got going on here with all these retrogrades? So yeah, I really do like say, write it down. Make a list. That's why I've done mine today, because I thought actually this is quite helpful. And it gives me an opportunity to take the map and compass of the medicine that I'm offering you here and myself to actually go into my process deeper without being blindsided. You know, have a map. Don't just be wandering around like a lost fart. Do you know what I mean? So I always end my videos on quite a interesting kind of like phrase. Anyway, you know me well enough now to know that that's how it's always going to be. Ain't going to change. So that's my energy update. So I do hope that this helps, because I really felt the need to do it more for you than me, or more for me than you, because the energy is really intense, and it is going to last for the whole of the week, this intensity. So just be careful. Take it easy. A lot of people having accidents and falling over and banging themselves. Get grounded, really get your roots into the earth. If you don't want to go to that dual function, don't go. If you don't want to talk to that person, don't talk to them. Protect your energy in the sense of, not protect through fear, protect as in alignment. So if you can protect and just push everything off the space, then you're gifting yourself the chance to get realigned again. As above, so below, so within, so without. Go and watch my video on the Tree of Life. See what I did there. Anyway, I'm going to sign off here, and thank you for watching. And for those that are really, really keen for the Sekhmet tour, for the Sekhmet pilgrimage, we will be deep diving in a very, very big way as we move into August, because August is victorious, and August is very much the lion energy, and the lion energy is Sekhmet, and it's all to do with Lion's Gate, so it's all to do with sovereignty. So there may be a pre-deep dive that you might want to go into before deep diving into the pilgrimage with me in May next year. But like I say, those of us that are really, really connected to Sekhmet are being called home. So if that's you, reach out, man, and let's have that conversation. But otherwise, receive this video and go forth victoriously.